Hi, and welcome everyone to today's episode in the Ascension 101 series. This is a video series where we speak about ascension related topics in a way that makes it easy to understand, even if you just woke up spiritually and you're all new to all the ascension vocabulary, the thoughts, the concepts. So I'm Lovisa Alvtörn of Ascension with Lovisa. I myself woke up just 4 years ago, and I've gone through quite an intense ascension journey since then myself. Today I work part-time with my own spiritual company. I'm offering both group workshops and private sessions online, and I'm also doing videos like this on my YouTube channel. I'm a spiritual awakener, a light code activator, divine channel, and an ascension guide. So today is August the 13th, 2021, and today's Ascension 101 topic is nourishment from nature. And I have a special guest with me today to talk about the subject, my dear friend Jackie Lea. She's a spiritual healer and energy consultant. Welcome, Jackie.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So good to have you. Jackie, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit more to the viewers?
Sure. Hi, everyone. We're really excited to have you join us today in our Nourishment with Nature video. And I am, like she said, a spiritual medium and a healer. I have my own company that's called Clear Vibration, and I work full time helping people to what I call dive deeper into learning more about themselves through self-care, so that they can begin this ascension process, being able to open and expand their consciousness during the ascension. And so that's what I do.
Yeah, thank you. And the subject for today's video is something that we've been sharing a lot around, you and I, Jackie, this whole year since we first became friends at the beginning of this year. And we both have Archangel Metatron and Archangel Gabriel as two of our main guides. So we've been sharing and exploring tools and techniques that they have taught us. And it's been tough at times, but wonderful and expanding journey as well, right?
Yes.
And Jackie, since you're the one who was given the idea actually to do this video on this topic together, nourishment from nature, would you please introduce the topic a bit for us?
Sure. So for me, the nourishment part came in when my ascension symptoms started. And I really felt like my body was extremely calling for something different to happen. And I wasn't quite sure what that was at the time. I just knew that I was beginning to feel more and more depleted. And what I found is that I began moving into nature and finding that the nature was actually nourishing me. And from that, it expanded into not just from the physical aspect of being in nature, but it also expanded into the nourishment of what was going into my body. And that's where you and I started really talking. And we got into talking about, our diet changes and everything like that was really starting to affect us on a much deeper level. And that's when I felt more inspired to actually start writing things down, things that we might be able to share with other people. Because I'm like, if this is really important to us, because it was making a big difference. I mean, our food, it was almost to say lack of food, I think was our biggest issue, was that we were finding that we were really being challenged with what can we nourish our body with? And
what needs to go and what needs to be added.
Absolutely. And from there, I was like, oh yeah, this is stuff that other people are probably experiencing too. And maybe we should actually talk about it a little bit more, where other people can pick up on the same tools and techniques that we have found, thankfully, through our conversations and working with our guides and angels. A lot of stuff has kind of come into play for sure. So yeah, I thought that it was really incredible to go from feeling depleted and not knowing why, to then realizing that there was an answer out there to the nourishment of it. I was very surprised that it was nature. And that was just because where I was living at the time was where I was surrounded by concrete. When I moved to Alaska, all of that changed. I began to be surrounded completely by nature. And that's when my body began to heal. And then that's when my my diet started changing. Yeah.
Exactly. Because this is really important, that it's both, it's not just what we put into our bodies, like what we eat and drink. It's about being in nature, or even if you're not able to go, I mean, maybe you're not able to be in the forest where you'd like to be at the moment, or by the sea or whatever. But if you, in meditation, or when you sit and you imagine it and connect with it, that's also enough. That's also healing. Those healing properties will come in from you tuning in as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think it's even more powerful because when your intention is linked into it, it completely changes the energy and the vibration. Yeah, I think the intention is very important.
Many people may be on their ascension pathway, and if you're new to this and you're starting to really tune into like the higher realms and to the angels, like the ascended masters and so on, you're thinking like not the physical but the spiritual. And so you tend to maybe forget about the importance of the physical body, and that this is also a divine construct, like it's a part of our divinity.
Oh yeah,
bodies. And
I think a lot of
Archangel Gaia, the like Mother Earth, it's like this huge archangel who's a blue and green, is holding all of us, holding Earth, nourishing us. She has all the remedies. So it's really, it is divine, and all the, like all these remedies, all these plants and herbs, that all the healing tools are there, and that they are also divine. So to not forget that the physical part is also linked into the ascension process.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, inevitably what's happening is we are being asked to expand. We're being asked, I feel like our body is being asked to heal on a level that we never maybe realized was even capable of being done. And I think a lot of the things that I feel inspired to talk to people about too, if they're not privy to this already, is just knowing that with that expansion, it's because the body is looking to heal and it's looking for nourishment to come in so that we can be comforted. Because the thing is as we're actually moving into this expansion and we're finding ourselves depleted of energy or not feeling well, then what happens is we need aid, right? We need courage. We need support of some way, somehow, to come in and continue to move us forward on the path that we're leading toward. Because if we don't, then we basically just get stuck in fear. And then sometimes you end up in a long pause, right? Instead of moving forward. And so I feel like what happens is when we start utilizing nature and the co-creation of our angels and guides, Mother Gaia, then what that's doing is it's bringing in the allowance and the acceptance that we need in order to continue to step in. And when the body is trying to ascend, I believe what it's doing is it's trying to heal on a level of getting rid of the darker and the denser energies that it's been holding on to. I usually say dark and dense, meaning that it's thoughts, feelings, and emotions that you're holding on to, right? These are things that either come in from other people. It comes in from your environment around you. It could come in from your past, or maybe it's coming in from your past lives. But the thoughts, feelings, and emotions that are coming in that are affecting you are stored in your cells, your tissues, your muscles, and your bones, right? And then at some point, if it's not serving you anymore, I feel like what the ascension is doing is it's trying to pull it out.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to pull it out. I want to
feel
pull it
so
out.
important. You might think like my body, it's weak. It's like, it's not so as strong as I would like it to be. My body, like I'm sick, I'm ill, maybe it's like not functioning properly, and you kind of blame your body. But to really move into this, like your body is helping you ascend. Your body's taking on so much for you to try to
Yes.
help you clear, because those things, I mean, when those emotions that like you're talking about, like if you are able to clear them, like mentally or like emotionally, they don't need to be stored in the body. So
Right.
so that's the last, like if you don't clear them, they will be stored in the body, and the body will try to help you release.
Exactly.
Detoxify. So to remember this, like your body is helping so much. Like be grateful,
Right.
really, for all that your
Absolutely.
body does for you. And so
Absolutely.
this, like even if you get like a flu or something, we call that ascension symptoms. Your body is trying to help you detoxify.
Right.
But also you're seeing all these like the emotional and things, but also actually the actual physical toxins, of course, that we get from the environment. It's also something that the body needs to release and clear and so on. So we have that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When you think about, I hadn't thought about that before, but that's so true. Like your body is already dealing with all the toxins that are in the environment as it is, but then it's also trying to do the work on clearing the other stuff that's creating the denseness, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of the body is, it's so brilliant, the fact that even can do all of this. But I like to break it down. I found this year, kind of going into the terminology of when it's taking the energy that is not serving it any longer, that it's either integrating it, transcending it, or alchemizing it. It's doing one of those three things. And when it does, it all goes back into a loving state, a loving vibration, a divine place, right? When that happens, it allows for more light to come in. Light energy, whether that's something divine that comes in, maybe it's love, more space in your heart chakra, right, for love to come in. Maybe it's and again, I feel like all of that can domino effect from not only how your relationship that you have with yourself, but then how your relationship with other people, your relationship with the earth, right? I feel like all of that dark stuff that is being alchemized, integrated, or transcended is making room for the ability to then let this space be opened up. Because here's the thing is, if you're pulling something out, it creates an open space, right? And then as long as you fill it back with something like love. But I think that's the key is open it up and then use your intention, right? To make sure that you're filling it back with love and not just letting something dark come right back in again.
It's also, if you're new, if you're new or if you're not new, your ascension, pathway for everyone, you're going to hear this and know this, that like we're being bombarded with all this high frequency light. It's like it's more than ever. It's so intense. Like it's coming new light codes, new light to raise our frequency constantly, and that needs, you need the space for it. So the body, if you're feeling more physical symptoms, your body's really trying to help make space.
Right.
That
exactly.
So not that you're, something bad is happening actually. You feel like, why am I or maybe you're feeling like me, because I do have physical problems, trying to help my body release this. But that like I have all of these things that I want to do, like with my spiritual business now, and this is my body's kind of holding me back. In fact, flip it around how you look at it, because my body's helping me.
It is. It's changing your perspective, right?
Yeah.
Because we all default into, what did I do wrong? What am I missing?
Yeah.
How did this happen? Why is it happening to me? to me, right?
Mhm.
That's the change. That's where if we change that perspective and we're like, why is this happening for me? I am a part of this. And then this is the next topic. Let's just jump into it. Co-creation. This is not something that you have to do by yourself. Remember, we've had these conversations. We are not alone in this process. This is a matter of, it is always co-creating. And when I asked Metatron one time, I was like, so why do we feel like we're having to do this by ourselves? But yet, why can't we just like make a decision and have it happen like that? And he's like, because you're meant to learn from this. This is an experience that you're supposed to gain information from. And then when you learn that, then you do like what you and I are doing, and you share it with other people in order to help other people. So I know you've got some stories.
Experience. Like if you just like everything's fixed like this, there's no need to be here.
I get people that ask that all the time. They're like, what about a drive-through healing? And I'm like, it doesn't exist. It's not ever going to happen that way. If you go to a store and you're like, my elbow hurts, I'm going to go, well, we've got Tylenol, Advil, aspirin. There's so many different things. Maybe you need a cream. I don't know. But there's so many different things that you might be able to utilize to help you, but everybody's unique. Everybody's different.
And
so
having all those medicines in, like when you go to the pharmacy, but if you tune in with nature, you can have that's also something.
Well, that's a great lead-in. So you've got some really good stories about your co-creation. Do you want to share some of those?
There's a noise outside my window. Is it disturbing?
I don't hear it.
Good. Just worried that it's over some machines here.
No, tell us your story.
Just let me know if it gets loud.
Okay.
Yeah, because when I suddenly this winter, because then my body was okay. So let's start a little bit earlier than that. So for years, my guides and angels, my main guide, especially Archangel Metatron, has been, on me about like, you're eating too much sugar. Like coffee's not good for you, Lovisa. Like these things, I knew it wasn't good. I know it's weighing me down. It's not good. Like it causes inflammation in the body. It's like, it's not good. But, I felt like I needed it to keep my energy up and whatever. Like, no, but it's not so bad. It can't be that bad. And then suddenly the body just says, nope, this is not working anymore. So then I got quite bad, like physically ill. Yeah. So then I drastically made the decision to change my diet completely. Like I had to do it. There was no other way at that point. I knew. So that was quite tough. Like the detox process at the beginning was very hard. You were helping me with healing also, like supporting me. But I remember I was walking, like it was winter and snow, and I was asking spirit, like, is there any plant that would be like, or herb, something, what would be beneficial for me, like for my joints that were hurting, for example, at this time? And I just thought, okay, I'm going to ask the question and release it and see what comes in. So I started thinking about something else, but immediately I started smelling like rosemary, and got a memory from in Tuscany for like 20 years ago, but a wonderful memory of these huge rosemary bushes in Italy. And then I realized, but they're answering me. This is the answer, like rosemary. So I thought, okay, so what? So I went home to Google what, healing properties of rosemary. So let me see, I wrote some things down, what I found. If I can now find, so rosemary is an herb that helps improve gut health. I knew I needed to really heal my gut. Boost memory, improve mood. It helps to reduce inflammation, which I really had. Relieve pain and protect the immune system. And all kinds of things. Stimulate circulation, detoxify the body, may heal skin conditions. Was considered sacred already by the ancient Romans, Greeks, Egyptians, and the Hebrews. And so when we were going to make this video, I Googled again to find this information again. And then I also read that, you know, it's all purpose. Here's a quick breakdown of rosemary magical properties: purification, all heal, protection, love, memory, mental clarity, aids sleep, and attracts elves. I like that one. So the elves, yeah, you know, the elementals.
Yeah.
And that, because at first I thought, but that's not maybe really what I would go for, but to remember here that we're all unique. So to maybe not just go and look in a book on herbs either, but like the first thing you want to do is go either ask your guides, your angels, or tune in with your own body, your heart, ask your heart, and try to see what comes up. It may feel like, oh, it was just like random. There is no such thing like as random. Try it. And because even though there may be like this remedy that is known to help reduce inflammation, for example, so many of us have inflammation, like our Western diet like really causes inflammation in the body. So that's always like tough for the body to work with. Try to constantly keep that down, but that there are so many different herbs and plants that would help reduce inflammation if you start reading about it. And so, which one is best for me?
Right.
To listen inwards first, and then you can do like I did, go check. You know, what does it actually say? Will this be? But that's really important. I mean, you can go get books. There's like the medical medium, Anthony Williams. He's written like in a lot of about different plants and herbs that are good for different things, and you can see like exactly the properties if you like. But I would say go, and that's really helpful. Like you can get confirmation from these things or from others. But first of all, listen to your own guidance. Yeah.
Yeah, it's your body has its own I call it my own gut language. Actually, it's like my body has a language, and it's through sensation. It's a matter of paying attention to what it feels like, because the body isn't going to necessarily talk to you unless you're clairaudient and you can actually, you know, hear your organs talk, which I know that there are people that can do that. But yeah, if you're thinking about the sensation and you're actually paying attention to what you feel when you're eating specific foods, then that can tell you all kinds of things. It's like I was saying earlier, and I think a lot of people just put food in their mouth and they think, oh, this is going to get me by. I'll be fine. I'll just eat this and I'll be good. But then they start feeling they either are lacking energy throughout the day, or maybe their mental clarity is, out the window. And they realize that, and maybe again, they don't realize that what they ate had something to do with it, because you really are what you eat. What you're putting in your body is affecting you. And this kind of goes into the next topic is, what is it about these foods? Why are these foods that we are getting from nature actually making a difference for us during this ascension process? And the reason behind that is because when you're eating higher vibrational foods, it's giving the gut less time and energy to process what you're digesting, right? If you are eating, and I'll just give you an example, if you're eating meat and potatoes, those are very dense, lower vibrational foods that are heavy. They take longer to digest. When you're eating foods that are in higher vibration, they digest more quickly. Vegetables, fruits, things like that. And when the body is not having to work as hard to digest the food, right? I think that there is a certain level of almost feel like I'm hearing them say time management for your body. They can focus, that your body can focus on other things when it's not having to focus so much on the digestive part, right? So So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and this kind of again gets back into our what we collaborated and found was specific foods that were actually
Mm.
a lot more beneficial
Yeah.
than others. I know
Yes.
for me,
Yeah.
I felt my angels going, no more red meat
Mm.
for a while. It's not that I can't have it at all, but during my peak time of the ascension, when my body was really being pulled to change and to get
Mm.
rid of some of that, I was doing a lot of my shadow work, my past life stuff, where a lot of that stuff was being pulled out. They needed my diet to change drastically during that time.
Yeah.
And they were like, let's less, like maybe a little less meat, you know,
Of course,
no
like it's,
chicken.
I know that quite a few people listening are going to be like, don't eat animals like at all. And we're not
Yeah.
saying that you have to be vegan, but I mean, at least
Yeah.
make sure, try as hard as
Yeah.
you can to get like, or we call it ecological,
Organic.
organic.
For us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to see that those are animals that have had a good life, and that it, like for fish, for example, that it's like
Right.
caught in the ocean, not
Right.
ones that they have, I don't even know
Right.
what you call it, like cultivate,
Yeah.
like for like salmon, for example.
Like
Here
a
it's
free
hard to
range type
find
of.
in Alaska, you have all those like from the ocean,
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
here in Sweden, where I live, it's mostly,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that has
Yeah.
been, they call it like they grow it, like it sounds awful, but
It's they
I
call it
mean, so
farmed.
that because
Yeah.
those salmon have really not had a good life, that's not going to be such a good vibration. But what you helped me, you had, because you wrote such an amazing article that you shared like this winter, like
Yeah.
how,
Yeah.
like if you go in and while you cook, also like that you really, like you bless the food. And what
Yeah.
I do, I send the golden flame of the new golden age, that I have a video with Tim Wilde on that here on this channel if you haven't watched that one. But
Yeah.
to do, like to really bless the food and to send in healing for those animals. And I send in the golden flame of the new golden age to, like, back through the production chains, and I say to their brothers and sisters, like to the people working in these industries, like to bring in, to raise the frequency for the future, to to improve everything for them. So
I think
there's
it
a
makes
lot
a
we can
huge
do to
difference.
help raise the frequency, even if, because I mean, always those or I'm saying organic again. Is it, you can say organic, yeah, and I say ecological. It is more expensive, so you might find it hard to afford it maybe, but you know, as much as you can, and you can all, by blessing the food like this and sending love and healing, you also help raise the frequency.
Yeah,
making it lighter for your body.
There are scientists and doctors now that have put it out there that if you're soaking your vegetables and your fruits and things in apple cider vinegar for a few seconds to a minute or so, that it will remove the toxins, and that it's just as beneficial as buying something organic.
Yeah.
That was a documentary that I watched on Gaia not long ago. So if that's the case, then just take a few moments to submerge it in water and a little bit, like a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar.
And one thing that I do, because what Spirit told me, my guides, right away, was like the fresh herbs, to use the fresh. So buying fresh, so I buy fresh organic herbs, and that can be quite expensive, of course. But what I do is I replant them into larger pots. And it was like, really, I had one basil plant, and I had, I don't know like the English names of all of them, but several plants that I had them for 3-4 months, the same plant, just by putting it in a little bit with some more soil. And and when
That's
you
great.
when you use it, you put it, you take a little bit each day, then it grows more, and so you can keep them for long, and you give them love, of course.
Absolutely. Everything works better with love.
I'm putting them on my salad, so I've added so much. I've never had so much salad, so much greens. Like spinach, I know is one fresh spinach is one that we both use a lot. So good.
Oh yeah.
But then putting all those fresh herbs on each, like on my salad, on my meal, and also what they were showing me right away and guiding me was to make herbal teas with fresh herbs. I didn't even know how that would taste like, and that was at the beginning when I was detoxifying so heavily. I was feeling awful, but and that felt like the first time I tried it, because that was rosemary, thyme, and that's what I'm calling it's something like lemony, but it's these green leaves. At the moment I can't remember what it's called, because it's not lemongrass, but it's
okay.
lemon balm.
Yeah, lemon balm.
Lemon balm. Yeah. And
they say that that's really, really good at relaxing the muscles.
And then did I say basil? With those. And now actually I put also, I love my lavender in my garden. So even after they bloomed, I take those like lavender, like the seeds, also put it in the tea. And when I tried that, I was like, I thought I was gonna die. Like, this is some kind of like elixir from the gods, you know, like this is life force. Really, I had no idea it would taste that good. Try it if you haven't. And it's really different actually between the dried herbs and the fresh ones. Very different, because it dries out. It draws out into the hot water. And also they're reminding me to say, like, put a lid on when you're letting, because otherwise it will evaporate a lot of the goodies from the.
Yes, I've heard that too. Yeah, let it simmer with the lid on.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah.
So
you mentioned some more different, like some more samples. What examples do you have?
Yeah, so I really got into juicing. I enjoy making a green juice every morning. My body, you know, when we were talking about, you know, what can we do to help ourselves feel better, and we both realized that it was mainly plants that was making us feel better. I ended up realizing that if I ate plants first thing in the morning instead of carbohydrates, that I felt better. So I started making a green juice, and I got inspired by a old recipe when I was teaching yoga, where you take spinach, cucumber, celery, lemon, ginger, mint, and then a fruit, like either apple, pear, watermelon, blueberry, something like that, or maybe all. Right. And then put them in one of those really good blenders that will like really blend it up really good, and then drink it. It's like you said, like nectar from the gods. It is so incredibly delicious. And I have found that if I drink that first thing, not first thing in the morning, I don't want to, because I am a person that fasts for like 12 to 15 hours from night till the first time I eat. But the first thing I do put on my stomach, I try to make sure it's some type of green juice like this. And I have found that my body really reacts best off of that. And then I may wait maybe 3 or 4 hours and then start putting something with a lower vibration that's a little heavier, like a carb, whether it be something like an oatmeal or some people have bread, whatever. Put some of the heavier, more dense foods.
I'm seeing like the scales, as long as you balance it, like if it's not that you have to stop with so many things like all together, but to balance it out.
And let's jump into that real quick too, Lovisa, because that's something that you and I also explored this year was, when you start trying different things, it might be because you realize all of a sudden that you now have an allergy to something that you didn't have an allergy to before. And you and I have both experienced that. I've had a lot of allergies my whole life, but this year, all of a sudden I can't have avocado, and I'm not really sure what it was. That I'm still not positive about why I can't have that, But I think a lot of people through their ascension process and the symptoms that they're going through, that it might be allergies. They're just
Because
like, I
otherwise,
don't
I just
understand.
need to say avocado is very, very good.
Very
for you.
good. I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Like
sure.
all the,
Not sure.
so
But
that's something to really add to your diet, unless
you
you
kind of
can
had a
find-
list, didn't you, of like some of the really good foods that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because
Read us your
also,
list.
let me see. Where could I have put that? Yeah, because one thing, because I start my mornings with celery juice that I juice it really like in a juicer. I don't know, what do you call it that? Because you get rid of the fibers and you just get the juice from it.
Yeah.
And that's also something that there is like with Anthony William, the medical medium, he started like this huge movement. So you may know, you may know quite a lot of people have heard of that. If they drink the celery juice, you might think that tastes really bad. At first, I had a bit of trouble with it. Sometimes it's a bit bitter, it depends also, but I really love it. That's like, my body loves that. So that's what I start with in the morning, first thing. And then I wait for at least half an hour. And that helps detoxify. It really helps your like your kidneys and so on.
Oh, good.
And then, because my other preferred drink is lemon water. So that's very healing and boosting for you. And what I found a bit strange is like lemon tastes so sour. So you would think that it's like acidic. And our bodies, our Western diets are generally too acidic. So like those things you mentioned, like meat, also fish, sweets, of course, everything, bread, also eggs, cheese. Those are very high in acid. And so what you want to bring in to balance that are more alkaline foods. So again, it's not like you need to remove everything, but to find a better balance. And the thing is that, and I'd heard this, so that's when I checked it out and I found some more info, that actually lemon, when you ingest it, it is alkaline, and highly alkaline, and it is. So, and it's rich in vitamin C and so many other goodies, of course. But other fruits and veggies that are highly alkaline that you might want to, and you can Google this, you can find this on the internet about the alkaline foods and like lists of which ones are more alkaline and more acidic. But really good, highly alkaline avocado that we mentioned, figs, and that's something that I eat quite a lot of figs actually. So like, yay, I understand why it's the figs. Goji berries, kiwi, limes, broccoli, which I know is like super good for the body, cucumber,
Love it.
dandelion, thyme, and ginger. So those are some that are highly acidic, alkaline.
Alkaline,
So really, really good for you.
And those are all great things that you could put in a juice in the morning. All of those could go in there.
For example, my niece, she has had a bit of a problem with her stomach, like, so she gets the
reflux.
So they usually, when they were here visiting at home, they have something that she usually takes, but they didn't bring it here. So I said, like, lemon water. I said, I know it seems like backwards to do that, but it is. I'm telling you, this is alkaline. It's gonna help. And now she has that every morning. It helps her.
Nice.
But you don't need those, because with drugs from the pharmacy, sometimes you may need them, but they're always, like, try to avoid it, because there are always negative side effects normally. I'm sorry, but there are.
I agree. I mean, when you look back, I'm just saying, like, before the internet, you know, and things like that were able to persuade and manipulate us into other things.
Mm.
We always relied on Mother Nature to
Yeah.
provide what we needed. And there's no reason why we can't go back to that.
Mm.
And I think that's what you and I are encouraging people today, that when you realize that your body is in disharmony and you need some type of nourishment that will aid and continue to move you forward so that you can be at peace with yourself, so that you can be at peace with your food, right? And with Mother Earth, with nature, then trust the fact that your body is brilliant. It can tell you, if you're actually meditating and consciously asking it, what do I need? What will help me?
Yeah.
And then listen to the sensations, try different things, because, you know, just because you have celery juice and I have my green juices isn't mean that it's going to work for everybody. That's just not how that's not how we're built. But
That was my window.
we
I'm
can't,
sorry.
yeah, no, it's all good. But the thing is we are saying that there are plants and herbs and flowers even, right, out there
Yeah.
that are fully capable of helping our body aid in whatever the nourishment is that it needs.
Mm.
And the reason it needs the nourishment is because it's trying to get rid of the dense energy, right? It's trying to make room for light. And if you're willing to take the time, does it take more effort? Yes, it does. Is it easy? An easy process? No, it's actually kind of overwhelming sometimes. I can tell you, you know, Lovisa and I have been on the phone countless times where it's like, I am trying this and this isn't working. So you try something else, right? You try another food. We're always, you know, even using our pendulums to try to get our crystals, and we're asking the angels, you know, what is it that we're missing here? And again, it's always a learning experience. Don't get mad at your body. Don't feel bad. Don't beat yourself up that you're going through this. We are all going through this. And just remember, we're not going through it alone. We're going through it together. Our angels, our guides, our own higher self. Sometimes I even call in my future version of my higher self and go, what do I need to know in this moment that can help me stay in the right direction or flow of this healing process that's trying to happen in my body?
Yeah.
Because again, whatever it might be, there is an answer. There is an
But
answer.
this brings to mind that when you start to have, maybe you get an illness, say for example, and then you're going to notice that there are so many different views on, like, this doctor says that, this healer says that. If I look for information, I get that, and it's all, and you might feel like you're going crazy, like, what am I gonna choose? And you so much want to find the right answer,
right?
to again move back to yourself.
Exactly.
Really, and if you need it, you know, call in your guides, call on the angels to guide you. But it's going to be really like overwhelming to try to listen to all those voices around you that say, no, this is the right remedy, this is the right thing to do. Because you will find what's right for me, like feel into it, what feels right. And then
I like
maybe
that.
you have to try different things. And that's part of the process, what you're meant to experience also. But
yeah, I agree.
It's easy to go into fear around that. Like, maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. Maybe I'm not doing enough, or maybe you're taking those meds that the doctor prescribes, but you're in fear because you're afraid that they're going to also harm you. And then of course it's not going to work. Right?
Yeah, because then you've got the lower vibration that's fueling.
Yeah.
No.
Because one thing that actually Archangel Gabriel came in and told me, because he comes in with the cosmic diamond energy, very purifying, clears and purifies and raises the vibration, alchemizes and so on. So he said, like, you don't even need to call on me every time. Take one of my diamonds and put because I have some medication I have to take sometimes, and like around the pills, my diamond, and feel it alchemizing it, and that's only that which is for your highest good in that pill is what your body is gonna take up. It's gonna, you can feel that some of what's in there is going to be actually raised to a high vibration. You can feel it's being alchemized. Some of it, like the rest of it, may just pass through you and not without harming you, and then Mother Nature will be able to alchemize that. And really, that's really helpful to me to feel relaxed about having to take those meds sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. And that goes along the same lines about blessing the food. You know, it's the article that I wrote for, in Elephant Journal was The Missing Ingredient is Love. And it's all about taking a vibration and then just putting your intention into it. That's all it takes. And it only takes seconds to do it. And that's what you're talking about. It's taking a symbol, right, from him and putting it into it. It's the same concept. And there, I'm sure, are people out there that are like, oh, that's hogwash. I'm sorry, but as a medium, as a healer, as a incredible empath, I feel everything. You know,
I feel sorry for you sometimes.
I know. I feel sorry for me. It's not, you know, it's not easy being so sensitive to everything, but I can honestly tell you that, like, for me, when I go to the grocery store, all I have to do is pick an item up and I can tell you the energy that's in it. I can feel whether there's somebody touched it.
Because how are you going to know what's right for you? Like, how do I know this? One thing is, like, when you're actually in the grocery store, like, go into that mode. Of try it.
Muscle test.
Try it.
Muscle test if you need to.
Every time you practice, you're going to get better, and you're going to allow it in and relax with it. So that's one thing.
Yeah, actually, absolutely.
Like, just look at it or feel it, whichever is your strongest sense, physical sense.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're not going to know unless you try. And in the grocery store, I usually look around. I'm like, is anybody looking at me? and then I'm like, you know what? Who cares? Because the thing is if somebody sees me and they see me holding, like, for me, I love peanut butter. So I'll take a jar of peanut butter and I'll hold it. And if it zaps me, I know I need to put it back. I know. I know that either there's an energy that either touched it that's now attached to it, or there's something wrong with the peanuts that made it. But anyway, or, you know, with fruit, whatever. But sometimes I will do a muscle test and I'll ask myself, if this is healthy for me, guide me forward. If it's not, guide me back, you know. Or I use my crystals and like a pendulum and just ask, you know, is this healthy for me? But there's so many different tools and techniques that we can use to help ourselves in this process.
Hard also to, like, when you're going into the store, ask spirit, like your guides and angels, to guide you to the right.
Oh, absolutely.
Items.
Yeah.
And trust
the more
that they will.
Have you noticed that the more you ask them for help, the more they help you?
Yeah.
Like at the very beginning.
Like that we have free will. They can't even intervene unless you ask.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I think half the time they're sitting there just twiddling their thumbs going, when the heck are they going to ask me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just see them like that sometimes, or that they're, you know, just sitting there going, when is she going to get this? When is she going to realize that we're actually here to help her? All she has to do is ask, you know.
There's one thing that you mentioned before that made me think, that you said that we think that we need to do it all by ourselves, because one thing that is coming in a lot is, like, step into your own power, take back the power over your own life, like step into your sovereignty. But that's not the same as standing all alone, because we're like, that's you taking choices that are right for you, or making choices, or in, you know, but it doesn't mean you can't co-create and ask your guides and so on. That's because there can be a bit of confusion around that, I feel.
Yeah, I agree. I think the stepping into the power is you making a decision that it's time to be more conscious, to raise your vibration, so that you make the effort. It's taking steps to make the right effort to begin the healing process on a deeper level, but
and
then ask for the co-creation.
Honor yourself enough to do that.
Right.
And
remember, and like you said, don't beat yourself up. Don't be like, my body, gosh, what is up with my body? Instead, being like, this is my body and I am dealing with these allergies or these symptoms or whatever. There is a reason for it. I am going to become stronger and more in my power and whatever my gifts are, right? Because sometimes maybe they're asking you to change your diet because it's going to help expand a gift that you have that can't expand now because there's just a heaviness and maybe your third eye, right? Or an organ that might be connected to the chakra that it's related to.
They're reminding me now that when you're saying a chakra, like the third eye, for example, you can ask for like which food or which herb or fruit or vegetable, what would help me. If you know you need to work on one chakra, that can also be. It doesn't have to be that you have an illness or problem somewhere. Nature can help you with raising the vibration of your chakras as well. They're reminding me.
Yeah.
I didn't even really think about it.
I didn't either. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's really, that's so true.
But also we were saying to not beat yourself up, or your body over that you're feeling weak or so on. But also, if you have been blaming your body in up until now, maybe don't beat yourself up about that either, because you didn't know better. Like you can only start from now. Just to be really compassionate about yourself, like every past version of yourself, like you're doing the best that you can. So
one of my friends,
I
love how you said up until now. That's a really good friend of mine. We've been using that term with a lot of things that we find we're making shifts, we're changing, we're transforming and evolving into, higher states of consciousness. And we'll say, this was my default up until now.
Yeah.
So I beat myself up until now. And now I'm realizing that I am stepping into my power, and I'm realizing that I am fully capable, because I believe that we are put on here with the tools and techniques that we need in order to handle what we are meant to handle. Right. And realizing that it's not a hindrance. It's not like you're being asked to step back. It's asking you to step up.
Yeah.
So
tell you what, I just looked at the time. This video is getting a bit long already.
Yeah.
We have to end.
I think we should wrap it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we said a lot of really good points, and hopefully some of these tools and techniques that you and I have shared and experienced is just the right thing to maybe help someone else today that watches it.
Maybe this is like a first spark in your mind. We're not giving like all the options, but to help you start thinking in a new way. So we hope that all of you who watched enjoyed this video, found it helpful, gave you some new ideas. And don't hesitate to reach out to either of us, if you have any questions. So you can put comments here to this video. And you can also, I'm going to put links to how you can find me on my other channels on Facebook and so on. And also for you, Jackie, and how can people find out more about you?
My website is clearvibration.com, or they can email me at jackie@clearvibration.com. And
I'll put that in the description also.
Yeah.
And we wanted to say also that we're planning on doing a workshop together on this subject to go a bit deeper than in this video into all of this. And we wanted to say that you can ask questions also, right?
Yeah, so that we can address, if you've got questions that are personal to you that you are dealing with, so that we can actually maybe expand a little bit more into the workshop and go into some of the concerns and the questions that you guys have, so that we can help you on a deeper level. So
if you feel that this is calling you, go and check it out. We put a link to in the description to this to the workshop also, how and more information about it. And in this workshop we'll be doing a guided meditation also to help you tune in with nature, if this is something new to you, with Gaia, Mother Earth, and help, and to your own heart space, like to help you remember how to hear, feel, sense, or see which plant or herb will benefit you at any given time. So do check this out if you're interested. And thank you all so much for watching. And thank you, Jackie, for co-creating.
Yes, thank you. It was fun.
And
I enjoyed
sending
it.
you all
Thank
much
you, everyone.
love. Yeah, bye.
All right, bye.